everyone, welcome to Fire Part 3. We are finally getting to the chakras today.
Yes, finally. It's finally getting through. This is it. This is the last part. We did the cardinal fix, now the mutable part.
Yes, yes indeed.
For fire. So we're getting through it. But yes, today is chakras. We're going to go through...
And to start with, we're starting with vital breaths?
Yes, we're going to start with the vital breaths. The vital breaths, of course, are traveling energies that run circuits through our bodies. Okay, and each chakra acts like a fuse to a vital breath. Okay. The first one we're going to talk about is prana, of course. Prana is the life force. It's vital energy that flows throughout the entire body. So in like Japanese and Okinawan cultures, it's chi.
Okay.
Everybody seems to have their own name for it. Okay, but most religions at some point utilize it somewhere. European and Western, not so much, but they've adopted in part chi because of martial arts. So a lot of people talk about that.
Well,
and they utilize it.
A lot of the Western culture is influenced heavily in Christianity, though, also.
Yes.
And that would, come from the Jewish tradition. Would that be the breath that was breathed into man? And
yeah, well, you could say that, sure. But essentially, being vital breath, it would be essentially what you're putting into someone to create life. That would be fire anyway. That would be fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're going to go through and think about astrology theory and the Western magical systems.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it would be that. It would be a stretch to say that it would be aether, but you could also use aether in there as that, or the spirit of the universe. Because essentially that was fire, air that gave motion to all things.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see where you're going with that, yeah. Okay.
And in Christianity, of course, it would, God said, let there be light. Mm-hmm. Of course, that was fire and air, and same thing. And of course, the air part would be the breath.
Right.
Okay, because it's called vital. Prana is a vital breath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's the air of breathing. It rests in the heart. It travels between the mouth, nose, navel, and khanda, the location between the anus and reproductive organs. Okay, and the great toe. So, Eastern philosophy gets a little strange when it comes to these things. But that's okay. It's not a problem. Okay. But prana by far is the most potent and, I would think, the most important of the vital breaths for most people. Because it's what you want to move through your body. It's what you're trying to move through your body. Kundalini deals with it. A lot of other practices deal with it. The pranayama, which we're going to get into later, the breathing exercises have it in the name. So it is the most important of all of the vital breaths.
Well, essentially it would give, I would think, form to the other breaths, essentially.
Yeah, and it gives life to everything.
Right.
That's what it is. It is the most vital air.
Life force energy.
That you have.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to go to apana, which is air of the rectum. Cycles through the lower trunk and releases urine and excrement. Okay. It flows through the rectum, male organs, prostate, thighs, knees, lower abs, waist, and navel. Okay. So, again, all of these breaths are just energies that are moving. Mm-hmm. Moving energy through. Taking energy, moving it through. And essentially creating movement.
Right.
So again, but it's all fire and air. The vital breaths.
Mm-hmm.
They're all fire and air. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is udana. It's air in the throat, which causes speech, circuits through the hands and feet, and it's a cause of enlargement in the body. Okay, it allows things to grow.
Okay.
So it's the growth breath, essentially. Okay.
Okay.
And then we're going to go through samana.
Samana.
Yep. Air of digestion, it rests in the navel. It is intestinal fire and circuits through the limbs. So now we just, again, brought fire through with air. all masculine energy, all flowing through, all about movement.
Right. Okay.
And that's
Okay.
where we come in. And again, we have to think about it in terms of the three-dimensional properties that we talked about before, where air is bright, thin, and has motion. Or fire is bright, thin, and has motion. Air is dark, thin, and has motion.
Mm.
So, motion's huge in this. But of course, we also talk about it flowing, okay, which brings in water, which is dark, thick, and has motion.
Right.
Okay? But we also know because of frequency and waves, you can't move anything with just frequency.
Mm-hmm.
It has to go on a wave, so water has to be incorporated. The only part that's not incorporated into this, essentially, three-dimensionally, is Earth, because Earth is no movement. And the vital breath is all about moving energy. It's all about moving energy.
Right, but
so the only Earth part would be your form, where it's moving through.
I was going to say,
that's it.
you got the form, but then you also, for it to flow effectively, you need to be grounded.
Well, essentially, I guess, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll go along with that, sure. But as far as the breaths themselves are concerned, they're not Earth.
Right.
They're moving through Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But they're utilizing Earth.
Yes.
Because they have to have a form to flow through, or else they just dissipate.
Right. No, it's any
Yes.
kind of energy will just simply dissipate if it's not
Right.
contained.
Right, because we've talked about that before, about the containment.
Mm-hmm.
And where we talk about...
I mean, that's really anything. I mean, it's the
Right.
mind. It's
right, and this is this is moving it through form.
Right,
and It's
right.
moving it through different parts of your body. So,
mm-hmm.
yeah, it's moving, all of that air is moving energy through all of these different parts, these forms, so it's all moving through Earth
Mm-hmm.
to affect Earth, essentially.
Right.
So that's what it's doing. It's affecting Earth, even though it's not really Earth. It's affecting. That's what it does.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, now we have Vijnana. Okay, air that circulates through the body, operates the ears, lips, throats, nose, mouth, cheeks, and navel. And again, we have navel again. So we have crossovers again. And you'll find that a lot in Eastern stuff. They all have their stuff crosses over into a lot of the same areas. So does, when we talk about the aura, so does the aura. The aura crosses over because it's all intermixed.
Well, and that gets
And all
into the
these things are moving
interplay
around.
with the chakras too. We'll
Yes.
have crossover when we get to the chakras. There's crossover there.
There is.
But it makes sense when you consider that it's the colors of the chakras that create the aura.
Yes, because color mixing, that's how you turn a particular energy into another energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's all done through color. And again, that's all dealt with through your sign energy, planetary
Right.
direction, and when you're shifting one energy into another energy, the only way you can visualize it is through color. It's the only way you can, because we've talked about this before.
Yeah, effectively, yeah.
656, nanometers.
Yeah.
It's like, visualize that. Like, no, it's not going to work. Well, you can if you know that means it's brown, because that's what brown vibrates at. So
Right. It's impossible
just
to
a different way to
visualize any kind of anything at the nanometer range.
right,
It's hard enough for someone to visualize a centimeter.
yes,
Forget a nanometer.
right. There's no possible way. And then how do you visualize it vibrating
Right.
at that frequency? And it's like, what?
Well, that's exactly it, because the colors are light.
Right.
So it's an electromagnetic wave. How do you visualize an electric? It gets impossible to visualize.
The only way that you can do that is visualizing a field, which is your auric field essentially anyway.
Right.
But you can't visualize just the field. You have to visualize the colors within the field for it to make any sense.
Right.
Again, so that's what we're talking about. Now we have Naga. Okay, that's the air of erection. Okay, and Kurma is the air of blinking. Krakara, the air of sneezing. Okay. Devadatta is the air of yawning. And then Dhananjavya, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is the air pervading the entire body, okay, and it lasts after death. So,
Okay. So
interesting one.
lasts after death. That's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Would
it's
that
just an
form
energy.
part of your spirit then?
I don't know if it would be so much your spirit or your presence. So more like Virgo energy, I would think.
Okay.
Because Virgo is still form. It's just spiritual form. And the breath still has to connect to something.
Right.
So I would think that would be
So I'm just wondering,
Virgo's
you know, because, you know, last after death, you know, would that be part of what sticks around, say if a spirit gets trapped here?
Well, I would say that
a
it's
ghost or
probably the
something?
Virgo that's left, the presence that's left over,
Mm-hmm.
the form, because the body is dead
Right.
and is no longer of use,
Mm-hmm.
but yet spirit still has form. And yeah, I figure that would be presence. The presence is still there, even though the body is gone. And that I'm sure that's what that particular error connects with and sticks around for.
Okay. Okay.
But that's something we'd have to look into
Right. Yeah.
and make
For
sure.
sure.
But it makes sense that it would do that, especially when it lasts after death. Okay. Now we're going to get into some breathing exercises for the vital breaths. Now each vital breath does not have its own breathing exercise. We have 5 breathing exercises that essentially work with all the vital breaths. And it's incorporated into yoga. It's
Right.
incorporated into a lot of Eastern traditions. All right, so we're going to do what's known as alternative nostril breathing. Okay, is a very relaxed, balancing breath that is used to help calm the nervous system and aid in a restful night's sleep. So any of you that want to kick up your melatonin?
Yes, melatonin.
Yep, melatonin,
Yep.
the hormone that aids in sleep. This would be a good exercise to do.
This also sounds as the breathing technique that most people use to get into a meditative state.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it can be. Yep. It increases the amount of oxygen taken into the body. It's believed that the breath can also purify the blood, calm the mind, reduce stress, and promote concentration. So yes, that would be the breath and the exercise that you would do before going into a meditative state. Because it gets you and your mind set, your body and your mind set to go through it.
Right. To just exactly. It calms the mind, clears
Right.
everything.
Now most people probably don't know that. This is what they're doing. Most people
Right.
just take people through some sort of a breath relaxation
Right. Right.
reality when they're doing it. Okay, but we're going to go in through how to do it. Okay, it can be done seated or lying down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to start, empty all the air from your lungs. Okay, using the thumb of your dominant hand, block your right nostril and inhale through the left nostril only. So, down through. Okay. Be sure to inhale into your belly and not your chest. Once you are full of breath, seal your left nostril with the ring finger of the same hand. Keeping your right nostril closed and hold the breath for a moment. Then release your thumb and exhale through your right nostril only. Be sure to exhale all the breath out of the right side and pause before inhaling again through the same side. Seal both nostrils once you have inhaled on the right side and exhaled through the left side. A complete cycle of breath includes an inhalation and exhalation through both nostrils. If you just started out, you can do a 4-count inhale, holding your breath for 4 to 8 counts, then exhale for 4 counts. Perform up to 10 cycles and notice how your body responds.
That is very relaxing.
You may feel more relaxed and calm in both your mind and body when done. So, it's a good exercise to practice. We wanted to give some practical exercise in these. This one we can do because they're pretty simple, they're pretty easy to do. And it's not going to take another entire video to go through the exercises for these.
Right.
So we were able to incorporate these without having to go through an entire new video. Or make this one 2 times longer than it needs to be. Okay?
Right.
Okay. Now, This is a calm, soothing breath that can be done any time of day. Try practicing this technique when you are anxious, nervous, or having trouble falling asleep. That's when you want to work this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Okay. Now the next one that we're going to do is called the skull shining breath. Okay. It is a pranayama exercise as well as an internal kriya or cleansing technique. Okay. Some believe that this breath will help clear mucus in the air passages, relieve congestion, reduce bloating, and improve lung capacity. Okay. It's an invigorating breath that can build heat in the body.
Oh boy.
Okay. You ready?
Again, fire. Yes.
Yes. Yes. You are the test dummy, so are you ready? Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Start by sitting in a comfortable seat with a tall, straight spine. And exhale completely. All the way down, man. Inhale briefly through both nostrils, then sharply exhale again. Out of your nose.
Oh, out of the nose. Okay.
While pulling your navel toward your spine. Interesting. Okay. Then sharply exhale again, while pulling your navel back to your spine. The exhalation is short and quick, but very active, while the inhalation is short and passive. Again, pull your navel in as you exhale and soften it on the inhalation. Do one round of 30, counting your exhalations, and rest for a minute with some deep breaths in between, and repeat. If it seems strenuous, start with 15 and gradually work your way up. How does that feel? Does that feel strange? It's been a while since I've done these. So.
It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
But it's cleansing. Like, I'm actually like focused.
Oh.
Like my mind is much sharper right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This is great to do in the morning if you're feeling chilly or sluggish. You may also try it when you're feeling congested or bloated.
So that's gonna be a good one for me too.
Yeah.
With my sinus issues.
Yeah, definitely, because you have some issues
Because
with that.
that's something I noticed too. Like I'm sharper, but it's because my sinuses are clear.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so you have allergies. You have a few issues like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I do not, but I understand how weird they can be.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. This is a very excellent exercise to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh wow.
Okay. Do not try it on a full stomach. Avoid this technique if you are pregnant, suffer from blood pressure issues, or heart conditions.
That I can definitely see with the quick breathing being an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
it
sure.
took me a minute when I first started doing those to get comfortable with them.
Okay.
I didn't really like them when I first started. You'll find that with some exercises that are in there, you're going to like some are not so much. But I forced myself to go through them, and yes, it was very purifying. I enjoyed doing them, but it's been a while since I practiced them.
Okay. Okay.
So again, for you out there, keep practicing stuff. You know.
Yeah.
And sometimes, there are some things you're not going to want to practice, some things you will. But the best thing that you can do is force yourself to go through them. So
Or at least try.
it's about once every year I will do some of these things to make myself. Other ones I do all the time.
Well, it's kind of like the fundamentals.
Yes, exactly with the fundamentals.
You know,
some of them that
you make them through. Eventually, you might not do them all the time, but it's good practice to go through every once in a while.
It is. And if you do go through the entire thing and hit all the time constraints, okay, and reach all of those goals, what you're going to find is, instead of doing them daily, you'll start skipping a day. Then you'll start skipping 2 days, and you'll start skipping a week. I get to the point where I only have to do each exercise maybe once every month, once every 2 months. And I can still hold the time constraints.
Right.
And as long as you can continue to do the time constraints and the exercises and reach the goal you're supposed to, you can put as much time in between those as you want,
Mm-hmm.
because you're still at that capacity. If you get to a point where you can't do that again, you need to start doing them a little more often
Right.
until you can get there again.
Build it back up and then
Yeah, because you always want to be able to continue to be able to do the visualizations and not let your mind start taking over control of you again.
Right. Yeah.
You want to keep
Absolutely.
control of your
Absolutely.
mind, especially when you're into these type of things.
Right.
Okay.
Working these energies and stuff.
All right, the next one we're going to do is victorious breath. It's referred to as ocean breath due to the sound it creates. Its breath is often used in posture practice, especially in various types of classes. It encourages full expansion of the lungs, and by focusing your attention on breath, it can assist in calming the mind. Okay, which can be nice again.
Right. Right.
Okay, especially if you're having a very stressful day. Or if you happen to get one of those days where you come home, everything's good, you lay down to try to go to bed, and your mind just starts going.
Oh yeah, your mind just won't shut
And
off.
it won't stop, and it won't stop, and you can't sleep, and you can't sleep, and you can't sleep. This is when you need to calm your mind down and pretty much say, okay, I got it, but this is not the time. But again, the fundamentals, working those, will help in that.
Oh, those absolutely helped with that
Yes.
too.
Yes, especially the one where you just go in and completely calm your entire body.
Well,
And then
you
absence.
have that one, but then the one where you focus on the void.
Yeah, the absence.
That one knocks me out.
Yeah, because it shuts everything up. I mean, it does. It just kills
That's
anything trying to come in.
if I'm having any
Yes.
issues, yeah, I'll focus on that and
Yes, indeed.
I'm good.
Yes, indeed. Okay. All right. Find a place where you can sit comfortably with a straight spine. Take a steady breath in through both nostrils. Inhale until you reach your lung capacity. Okay, and maintain a tall spine while you're doing it. Hold your breath for a second, then constrict some of the breath at the back of your throat as if it were about to whisper a secret, and exhale slowly through both nostrils. This exhalation will sound like an ocean wave or gentle rush of air. You should feel the air on the roof of your mouth as you exhale. Repeat up to 20 times. Okay? Interesting. I enjoy that breath. This one I like.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing
That
this.
was-
That's why I did it with you. No, you can do that one. Yeah, this one I don't mind.
That was a good one.
Yes, definitely. And I like that one. I like it quite often. Yes, I love doing that one. Okay. The next one, okay, is cooling. Okay. And the effect it can have on your mind and body. Okay, the breath encourages clearing heat with coolness. It's especially helpful during summer and in hot climates.
Mm.
Okay. So now what we're bringing in, okay, because we had the heat one, so of course we're bringing in fire. Okay, and we're cooling.
Mm.
So we're bringing in water.
Right.
Talking elemental.
Yep.
Okay. Now, roll your tongue until the outer edges touch, forming a tube.
Yeah, I can't curl my tongue.
Try and do it. Okay.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Make an oval shape with your mouth, keeping your tongue flat. Inhale through your mouth, taking in all the air that you can. It may make a hissing sound. After inhaling, bring the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth and seal your lips. Feel the coolness of the inhalation in your mouth, then exhale through your nose. Repeat 5 to 10 times or as needed. And you do this when you're feeling overheated, irritable, find yourself waiting impatiently in hot weather. Okay, it's a great tool to try and cool off and relax. Okay. Were you able to get something out of that? You said you couldn't roll your tongue, but...
It's just as effective just doing the shape with the mouth, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be done quite a bit, actually.
Good. Okay, it's one of the most natural things we do as humans is breathing. It's a gift and a very powerful tool that can enable us to create more ease and balance in our lives. Okay. So it helps us return to a neutral state of being, gain clarity, feel rejuvenated, enhance an overall sense of well-being. These are just a few reasons why you would want to do these.
Right.
And make them a part of a habit.
Well, it's the calming effect, yeah. It definitely is, indicative of balance.
Yes. Now, this is also good for road rage. You don't hear that a lot, but it is. I've used it, especially the cooling off one.
Oh, yeah.
Not the heating up one. I've tried that in the past too. It doesn't work
No,
really
that
well.
makes everything worse.
Yes, it's almost like saying, "Hi, Mars, let's go." And Cool's like, "No, let's just cool this off with a little cancer energy and calm everything down. We're all good."
Yeah, Aries should not say hi to Mars.
Not in the road rage incidents. No. That's when you get the little videos that you see of people going at it, and you're like, "Why would you do that?" They're driving.
Yes.
Okay, but it's good to do in a car. These breathing exercises are great to do when you're backed up in traffic.
Oh yeah, when you're sitting and you're just stressed out because you got someplace.
Or if you're not stressed out, if you're just sitting there bored, breathing exercises are good to do.
Oh yeah.
It moves the energy through your body. It gets your vital breath moving. It gets that prana moving. It unbelievably focuses your chi energy, as I call it, because I do martial arts.
Right.
And it's a different way of focusing it.
Well, that's one of those.
Because I learned to focus it through movement.
It's one of those ways to channel it too. I mean, we had done our part 1 exercises video.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of what I do to start working any of the exercises is to cleanse the breath, clear the mind.
Right.
But
and with fire also. The coolness one can help you when you're done doing the fire exercises.
Oh yeah.
Because you can overheat.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can see the cooling one being very effective. Working some of the fire exercises because you're drawing in hot and dry.
Yeah. Yes.
Sometimes
you need to cool down.
As I had mentioned before, in the human environment, working those 2-dimensional qualities of fire,
right,
unbelievably effective.
Right.
But I think if I had been doing that breath exercise also and correlation with that, I would have had a better experience at the time.
Yeah. I wouldn't do those together.
No.
Because you're going for a particular goal when you're doing the fire exercises,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to get that if you do the breathing exercises here. You're going to get more chakra work.
Oh, okay.
And that's not what you're really working for when you're working the fire exercises.
Right.
As you get more, and I can understand why you would do that now, because we're moving into other things,
Mm-hmm.
and you're working chakras, and you're working all of that energy.
Right.
Now, yes. But when you're first starting out, especially, working the fire stuff, this is not a good exercise to correlate.
No, absolutely.
Because you're going to get
you don't want
a different result.
You don't want to combine.
Right, you're going to get a different result.
Right.
But once you're a little more advanced, as you are,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get to you get to the point where you can start again correlating, moving things together.
Right.
Okay, and the more you work the fire stuff, the hotter it gets. So there's going to come a time where you're going to want to do it as soon as you're done.
Right.
Okay, because you're going to have that effect. You don't want to sweat all the time, and you don't want to overheat.
Well, it's and like you said, as you get more advanced, you start to see the correlation and everything, and working the correlations.
Right.
Like
Right.
starting
Right.
the fire
And when you get into
with the fire exercises
and
to
when
use
we
them
get
to
into
trip
the
your
air,
chakras.
when you start working into the air part of the teachings,
Mm-hmm.
the vital, the breathing exercises get even more important
Right.
because then you'll be working with air itself,
Mm-hmm.
and then you need to move all of this stuff in.
Right. Right.
So, and again, like I said, there's different ways of working that energy, especially when you think about it in terms of chi, because in karate, we do it through movement.
Right.
And we focus it through the movements that you're doing.
Well, that's essentially that. I mean, that's what it is anyway. I mean, it's fire.
Yeah, it is. It's fire,
So
it's motion.
It's movement. It's motion.
Yeah, it's motion, and it's air.
So the most
Breathing
natural
in.
way to do that. I mean, like you said, we were talking earlier, yoga. I mean, it's,
Yoga's a good one. I mean,
Um,
a lot of it comes from yoga teachings that went hand in hand with it. When
But
you
that
get into
was-
the other, like the Japanese and the Okinawan
mm,
and the Chinese versions, they mix it more with martial arts, but the breathing is different in those styles. Like I've talked to you about Sensei Iha before.
right. Yes.
She's 92, I believe now.
Oh wow.
Yep. But when you work with him, and I met him when I was 13, so that's 40 years ago. And over the years of working with him, you start realizing that his breath doesn't change no matter what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're all, after a while, he's fine
Right.
and just moves from one person to the next and keeps going. But his breath never changes. He doesn't quicken his breath because his motion quickens. He keeps his breath the same. He hardly ever sweats.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other strange things is he'll shovel snow in his bare feet in the winter. And it doesn't bother him at all. And I think a lot of that has to do with his breath. And because he's using these techniques, he's moving all of this vital energy through his body, and it doesn't affect him the way that it affects most other people.
But he hails directly from Okinawa.
Yes. Yeah, he is Okinawan,
Right.
yes.
Okay. That's a teaching that we don't have. That's a kind of upbringing
Well, yeah, I mean, he
lifestyle
started when he
that
was
we don't-
13 there.
that we don't have here
Right.
in the West.
Right. Right. And they're, they walk in their bare feet everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere. And they
Mm.
sleep on the ground. Because I remember at one time I worked at Art Van, and he came in. He didn't know I worked there. I didn't know he was coming in. He came in and I saw him. I was like, oh, hey, how are you? And he wanted a mattress, but he wanted the firmest mattress we had. So I showed him this one. I'm like, okay, if this is what you want. He was like, well, yeah, because he's tried softer mattresses.
Okay.
And his problem
Okay.
is that if he gets used to them and he goes back to Okinawa and sleeps on the ground, he's in pain.
Oh yeah.
So he hates our mattresses. He'd rather have like just a straight wood board to sleep on. And it's just how they, their culture.
Right. Yeah.
But he is in better shape and has been since I met him than anyone I've ever met in my life
Mm-hmm.
because of that. And before we came in, and I mean we as Westerners, came into Okinawa and kind of corrupted their culture a little bit, they had the highest life expectancy rate in the world on that island. Their average life expectancy was in the hundreds.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But not anymore because we introduced them to, Marlboro.
Well, yeah, so I was gonna say we've
And
introduced cigarettes
pop.
and alcohol and,
And pop.
sugar and pop. And,
Yes. Well, they had alcohol, but they didn't have. They
yeah,
did not
but they-
have soft drinks.
I was gonna.
They didn't have candy bars.
They had.
And now they have all of
sake,
that stuff
but-
because we have a nice huge base located in Okinawa.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So they have all of that stuff, and it has gotten to the point where it's affected their entire culture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember they used to bring sake and stuff all the time to us. And, oh my goodness, that stuff was wicked. We think of our alcohol here as being wicked, but no, it's nothing like theirs. They just kind of laugh. Yeah. Be careful when you drink that. And you're like, yeah, I can take it. And they're like, okay. As you're stumbling around, running into the walls and stuff. It's like, okay, good enough. Okay, now we're going to go through what we call snapshots of the chakras. Okay? We are going to start at the bottom. We're going to start at the foot chakra. We use a 10 chakra system in this style. Okay? We start with the foot chakra. The foot chakra is not located at the feet.
Right.
It's right below the root chakra is where it's located.
Okay. So right around the upper thigh region.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's exactly where it's located. Okay, upper thighs. The endocrine gland that it is associated with is the parathyroid.
Okay. Yeah.
The planet it's associated with is Uranus. Okay. The angelic association that we use when we're just starting out working with chakra energy is not Gabriel. It's Barman. Most people are going to be like, who is Barman? Well, Barman is one of the Olympian spirits. Or no, I'm sorry, he's one of the Amisha Spentas.
I was going to say one of the Amisha Spentas.
Yes, sorry, that was my fault. Wow. He's one of the Amisha Spentas, okay? They come from the Zoroastrian religion, okay? Still Hebrew, so they are in an angelic order. But they're associated with the chakras only. There is no planetary involvement with them.
Right, okay.
Which again, there are with the Olympian spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but with the Olympian spirits, there's no Sephiroth association that you
Right,
get.
right.
Okay, so we use the Amisha Spentas because they are chakra energy only.
Okay.
And at this point, when you're dealing with fire, especially when you're first starting out, you want to understand the chakras and the sign energy. You don't want planetary involvement at this point. So the Amisha Spentas are the celestials that don't deal with planetary, and they just deal with chakra and sign energy. That's why we utilize them.
Okay. Okay.
The color association associated with the foot chakra is brown. All right. The physical functions: stem cells from the bone marrow, life energy, elimination of waste and infections from the body. That is what the foot chakra does. It is also represents the path that you are on, your path, and any paths you are taking. That's the focus of the foot chakra.
Okay. Okay.
The psychological functions are the IQ, self-determination, the ability to process information logically, which makes sense because the major sign that's associated with it, even though it is over 2, is Aquarius. Air.
So that makes it air. Okay.
Yep. Creative interaction. Being able to process what comes through water.
Mm-hmm.
That's what air does. So it's intuition. It's being able to process information. It's thought. It has to make sense. And it has to be logical. Because Aquarius can't stand anything that's not logical.
Okay. So you, and I think we've drawn this this out a little bit before, but so you're talking intuition, not psychic.
Yeah, psychic is water. Psychic is absorption. That's what it does. It absorbs.
Okay.
Okay, that's what water does.
Mm-hmm.
It absorbs. So psychic ability is empathy. You're feeling energy from somebody else. The problem is that if there's too much empathy, if you're too empathic, when somebody around you is depressed, instead of just going, oh, this person's depressed, you start feeling depressed. If somebody else around you is sick, you'll start feeling sick and showing symptoms that they have. So that's why a lot of people that have tons of water in their chart end up staying away from other people.
Right.
And becoming recluses.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't stand it.
Oh, yeah.
They take in all this energy and they can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's just a slight difference in three-dimensional reality between air and water.
Mm-hmm.
They're both dark. They both have motion.
One's thick, one's thin.
Water's thick, yes. Air is thin.
Right.
And that's why it's so hard and difficult. Because a lot of people used to think that intuition was water, but it's not. Intuition is being able to process what water pulls in. That's all intuition does.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to bring up, and we'll talk about this more when we get to it. But classically, intuition is associated with the brow.
Yeah, and the brow chakra is Cancer, it's water. Yeah, so no. The reason it's associated with it is because that's where you're sensing it.
Mm.
But again, that's just empathy. All you're doing is empathizing with someone else. To be able to actually process it intuitively, it requires air. Not to mention that air has to come in and detach.
Right.
That's the key for all of you people that have way too much water and way too much empathy. Is you have to use water, number one, to detach emotionally from that energy that's being absorbed and say, okay, I got it. And you have to turn empathy into sympathy. You empathically absorb it in, and then after you start absorbing it, the absorption needs to stop. And then you need to become sympathetic to what's happening with whoever is giving you that energy, or whatever is giving you that energy. That's another key. But that's what air can do. Air can change your focus.
Right.
Okay, stop sucking it in and start being sympathetic, and now let's process and figure out what to do with that information. So yeah, intuition incorrectly has been associated with the brow chakra. But your brow is not intuitive. Your brow is empathic.
Okay.
It's ruled by the moon and Cancer.
Okay.
It's empathy. It's water only. Okay. So, spiritual functions. Destinies, telepathy, and precognition. Okay. And intuition because of Aquarius. Okay. So again, intuitive processing. Okay. And thought, and theory, and ideologies. These are all things. Okay. Choice, choosing.
All things that impact your path.
Yes, all things that impact your path. How to choose your path. Because essentially when you're on a path, it doesn't matter if you're on a career path, if you're on a spiritual path, emotional path, it doesn't really matter. What ends up happening is you have to make choices.
Right.
To determine where you're going on each of these things. That's where Aquarius comes in. Without Aquarius, if it was water, you'd get all of it.
Oof.
Coming through. There's no choice. It's a big, it's like putting things into a stew. It's kind of hard to pick them out after you put them in that way.
Right, yeah, yeah.
If you have a stew and you go, and you smell what's going on, and you go, oh, there's this. That's Aquarius coming in and starting making choices for you. Okay. Smell is associated with water, though, so is taste. But it's the same correlation. It's the same relationship between water and air. Air is what goes, ooh, you have this in there, there's this in there, there's this in there, there's this in there, there's that. Oh, there's this too, and I don't like that, so I'm not going to eat this.
Right.
And a lot of people can't do that. Again, sense enhancements and all of that will get you to that ability to be able to pick those things apart. But it's your brain that's doing the picking and the choosing.
Right, right.
So again, yes, very important for your path work. Okay. All right. Now the aura association. Okay. What does the foot chakra do as far as the aura is concerned? And of course, in the aura, foot chakra is the color brown. And again, we talked about the field. Your aura is a giant magnetic field that surrounds you. When something breaks the field, the first thing that happens is your aura and your foot chakra pick up a variance of some sort in the field. Boom. As soon as that variance hits, it starts sending information.
Right.
It says, oh, something broke the field. Doesn't care what it is, doesn't care anything else about it. Something broke the field.
And it starts triggering all the others.
Boom,
Yep.
let's go. I'm sending this, and the information is just going. We're gonna process it and send it to the root chakra.
The root, yeah, the first hub. Yeah.
Right. And that's what all of the other chakras except the throat do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do.
Oh, and the crown.
They take in, well, yeah, but the crown does it all at the same time.
Right, right.
So it kind of is, it's the only, it's the crown pretty much controls the way it has to be done. You know, but the, all of the other chakras will pick different things up, and it's simultaneous.
Right, right.
Okay. But as soon as that energy field is broken, the foot chakra reacts. Boom, something broke the field. And all the other ones are like, it's this, and all that energy goes right to Saturn.
Right.
The next chakra that we're talking about, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Well, and that's why, you know, the Uranus is associated with the foot.
Yes, it's variance.
Planetarily, Uranus is variance.
It's variance and awareness.
Yeah.
You just become aware something broke the field. Hello, boom. And yeah, that's why. Now, the next one, the root chakra, is also called Muladhara. Location is the hips. Okay. And the endocrine glands for this one are the adrenals.
Okay.
Adrenal glands.
Okay.
Planet association is Saturn. Okay. The angel association for this one is Ashabahista. And
Okay.
again, Amashyaspenta. Element is earth. Color association is red. Okay. Physical functions. Okay. Physical issues related to the hip area, elimination, coccygeal, vertebrae, life energy associated with smell and the nose. However, it is also, like we talked about before, a hub. Everything gets sent to Saturn, because that's the planet associated with it. Everything gets sent to Muladhara, which is the root chakra.
Right. Well, and that's
All
because, you know,
information.
the primary sign
Capricorn.
for Saturn is Capricorn,
Yes.
the organizer.
Yes. It's Capricorn and Aquarius, where the foot chakra is Aquarius and Capricorn.
Right.
Okay. So they work hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's why, again, the other chakras, even though they're getting information in, that first variance break is why it flows so quickly from Uranus and the foot chakra into Saturn and the root chakra. And then, of course, Saturn is an organizer.
Oh, yeah.
And it works as a hub. It takes all of the information,
Right, yeah.
everything that comes into it.
Yeah.
It doesn't just send it in, hey, something happened, blah, blah, blah. It organizes it and goes, well, what came in? And where does that need to go? And what are we going to do with it? And this is different, and that's different, and this is different, and that's different, this is different, and this is different. And it just organizes. That's all it's doing.
Structures and organizes, but then it also pushes it up to the next hub.
Right.
So that it can be sent out.
Yeah. It pushes it up to the next hub, which is the throat chakra, which we'll get into in a little bit. But yes, that's what it does. Okay. So that the throat chakra can disseminate it.
Right. To where it needs to go.
To where it needs to go so that reaction can happen.
Right.
Okay. Because all Saturn's doing is organizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And putting it into an order, which Capricorns love to do.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Put it into an order, send it up to the throat chakra, and the throat chakra is the one that actually takes all of that and goes, okay, now I have to disseminate what essentially the root chakra organized and determine what to do with it. Okay. And those are your two large hubs that are going on. Okay. One's red, one's blue.
Right. 2/3 of your primal trio.
Right. And again, the third is, of course, the solar plexus, which we're going to get into in just a moment. And that solar plexus does its own thing because it's the sun.
Right, right.
It is light.
Mm-hmm.
All of the chakra energies flow from the sun. I mean, it's the energy that gets reflected out and splits into the different color vibrations. That's what's so important about the solar plexus and the sun. Without the sun, there is no light for us.
Right, right.
That's all there is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, psychological functions: safety and security, worthiness to exist, primal issues and feelings. Okay. And we're talking primal.
That's safety and security
Because,
is what grounds you.
well, right. And the primalness, though, is that energy flows into there, and if something like if a car is speeding at you, you're jumping out of the way before it gets to Gemini.
Oh yeah.
It's reaction. Saturn will react and
Mm-hmm.
go, oh, out the way, before anything else can happen.
Right.
Because
Right.
it's too quick to get disseminated and go, oh. So Saturn just goes, no, we're jumping. Moving out of the freaking way. This is a security issue. Move.
Right.
Or don't move. Or whatever it is that you need to do at that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
Saturn takes over. That's the primalness of it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
the spiritual function, self-identity. Physically oriented intuitive abilities, such as psychometry, sensing others' bodily sensations. Okay, and of course, psychometry is touch. Put something in your hand and you get something out of it.
Right.
That's that's psychometry.
Mm-hmm.
And you have mediums that do that. They'll take your car keys or whatever, or somebody else's.
Mm-hmm.
So it's over those.
Okay.
The aura association. Okay. Again, we talked about it. Acts as a hub, organizes frequencies, sends them to the Shuddha chakra for processing, which is the throat chakra. Okay. Now the next one, Svadhisthana chakra, the sacral chakra.
Sacral.
The
Yes.
sacral, yes, located abdomen. Okay, endocrine gland, ovaries, and testes. Okay, the planet is Neptune. Angel association is Bahumana.
Oh wow.
Okay, the element association is water. Color association is orange. This is the orange one.
Yes.
Physical functions: taste and/or tongue, sexual organs, activity, upper intestines, abdominal area, and the sacral plexus. Ruled by Neptune. This is chaos. This is the opposite of Saturn. Right?
Yes.
This is completely the opposite of Saturn. This is Neptune's area. Okay. This is also the chakra that a lot of people really need work on.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that gives you PTSD. This is very emotional, and because of Neptune's association with Pisces
Ah, that's why. Okay.
and the modern
Yeah.
rulership,
Yeah.
it has a tendency to victimize and go victim. That's why a lot of people need work on it, because it's the one that gets hurt and then goes into,
That's the one that gets
Delusion?
most often blocked. Okay.
well, yeah, it's blocked, but it's blocked in a weird way, because Neptune blocks in a really strange way. Neptune escapes. It'll put you into escape. There was this weird movie, I can't remember, it's this blonde girl. She's in a horrible situation, and she fantasizes that she's like this warrior with the rest of them, and they're fighting their way out of some weird, I can't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember the movie. But you find out that that was her escaping the horrible situation she was in. It was like a human trafficking situation
Okay.
that she ended up in, and this was her mind's escape. This was her Neptune, and essentially her sacral chakra, giving her somewhere to go to escape the horror of the situation that she was in.
Right. Okay.
That's what Neptune does. Neptune isn't mental. It's not mental problems. It's the cause of them. It's the emotional cause behind them. Neptune may give you an escape that's mental, but the underlying cause is going to be an emotional one.
Right.
I can't
Right.
deal with feeling this. I need something else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't deal with the way my life turned out. I need something else. So it's it turns into addiction. It can turn into a whole lot of things. People who spend all of their life, on the internet, in video games, pretending to be something they're not.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are escaping because they don't like the reality that they live in.
Right.
They don't like who they are. They don't want to be who they are. They want to be somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Neptune can do. On the other end of Neptune is spirituality. It opens you up to the spirit world.
Mm-hmm.
Not mysticism, but spirituality, faith. It's also unbelievably psychic because of Pisces.
Right, right.
Takes in everything. And then doesn't organize it or put any order to it at all. It just sucks it in. That's the whole.
That's the empathy.
Yeah, that's that whole empathy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sick. No, you're not. They're sick.
Right.
We're around them. That's why
Right.
we're sick. It doesn't do that. Neptune goes, hey, I feel sickness. I must be sick. And that's just another form of delusion and escape, essentially. It takes it in and it can't determine what's real and what's not. It likes fantasy. It likes all of those things. Neptune is great with that. It also loves chaos. And sometimes you need chaos.
Oh yeah,
Chaos
absolutely.
isn't bad. You can have too much organization and too much order.
Well, that's exactly it. You got to find
It's
that
too
balance.
strict.
You got to find that balance between chaos and order. I mean, that's Jordan Peterson famously talks about that.
Yeah, really. Yeah, and
The-
again, that's a balance between
The
air
balance
and water.
between. Yeah.
Again, yeah, it's a fine line, but you can take Neptune energy and mold it
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, because even though yes, it's over Pisces, it generationally rules Pisces
Right.
and has a more so than anything else, but it also has a generational influence over Sagittarius.
Oh,
Spiritual
interesting.
expression.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's why when we do like our moon ceremonies and stuff worked correctly, the energy is unbelievably potent at
Yes.
that point.
Yes. Unbelievably potent. However, so it has an interrelationship with Jupiter because
Mhm.
Jupiter rules Sagittarius
Right.
personally
Mm-hmm.
and co-rules Pisces personally, where Neptune is generational.
Mm-hmm.
It rules it generationally, those two. But it has more to do with Pisces than Sag, where Jupiter has more to do with Sag than Pisces, essentially. And that's key in working with them. But again, the sacral chakra, that's where we get hurt. And that's generally where we need most of our help and healing.
Mm-hmm.
Always look at the sacral first. Because the other ones,
Yeah.
It's
That
kinda like-
makes a lot of sense for
right,
that.
it's
healing
like if
that
you're
we
a
were part of,
doctor
too.
and somebody comes in with back pain, you have to figure out what's actually going on.
Right.
Because your body will do that. And that's more Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
It's not here, it's here. It's not here, it's here. Oh, phantom pains. Things like that. That's Neptune
Not,
reacting.
not even just, not only just phantom pains, but there can be something else out of whack someplace else too.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. The pain is in the wrong spot.
So
This
yeah,
is bad.
lower back hurting, but your chest muscles are so tight that you're
Right.
hunched forward.
Right. Put your arms forward. Okay. You can have pain down here, and it affects you up in this area.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange how that works, but
Yeah,
it does.
yeah.
Okay. But again, it's the same type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Always look to the sacral for the cause. Figure out the symptoms
Mm-hmm.
so that you can try to determine a cause.
Right.
But then
right.
look at the sacral and go, okay, what caused this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this person has, dual personality. Okay, is that mental? Sure. What caused it? That's emotional. So let's figure out what the cause is so that we can deal with the cause. And if we can deal with the cause, we can fix the problem. Hopefully.
Right. Right.
Otherwise, all we can do is feed it medication and deal with the symptoms.
And that doesn't solve
and
anything.
not deal with
Yeah.
the cause. So if you're doing a healing with somebody or on somebody, you want to heal the actual problem,
Mm-hmm.
not the symptoms. That's what and that's what a lot of medication do nowadays. They just deal with the symptom, they don't deal with the cause.
Right.
What is the cause? Why are you feeling this way? What is happening?
Well, again, that's talking
And that's-
about the split
right.
between science and spirituality at that point also.
Right. Yeah. Okay, and then when we're talking colors, it is not a primal color. Orange
No.
is not a primal color.
No.
No. So what else do you have to look at? You have to look at the root chakra and the solar plexus.
Yeah, you're looking at your roots, your grounding, and
Your solar plexus, your essence.
who you are.
Yep. And what you're radiating. So you don't just look at the sacral. You have to look at the root and the solar plexus at the same. As soon as you're done.
Right.
And while you're looking there, what connection does it have to this? What connection does this have to this energy? What's going on? So then you're looking at Leo,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're looking at Capricorn and Aquarius, and you're looking at Pisces and Sagittarius, trying to determine what the issues are.
Right.
So it's not just simple, but it gives you kind of a roadmap as to what you're trying to look at.
Oh yeah, it gives you steps on where you're directing your focus. Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Okay. Now, psychological functions governs emotional health and creativity. Okay, as we've just already talked about.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Okay, spiritual functions: emotions, feelings, empathy, empathic gifts, and being psychic. Okay. Unbelievably psychic.
Oh yeah.
I've worked with a lot of Pisces people that have just
Pisces.
unreal.
Oh yeah.
Or association. This is emotional sensitivity to the piety, which is the quality of being spiritual or reverent, okay, of the frequency the aura is interacting with, as well as any emotional chaos. That is what the sacral and the orange pick up.
Oh yeah, they pick up on the chaos.
So again, foot, variance, bam, shoves it to the Saturn. Sacral, orange picks it up, bang, that vibration hits. It picks that up, it figures out on an emotional level, like I said, okay. Emotional sensitivity to the quality of the spiritual or reverent of the frequency of what broke the field. Okay. Graceful, evil.
Right.
Emotional intention. And again, simultaneously with everything else, right to Saturn. Bam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We had a variance in the field, and then your sacral says, "Yeah, this is what it is." Boom. Neptune's like, "Here you go. This is what I got," and Aquarius is like, "Okay, I have to organize this now. Thanks so much." Okay, intuition. Let's go. And then
But it's
again,
able
it starts to organize it.
It's
and
able
it's
to
like,
organize.
okay,
You
let's
know,
do
it's
it.
going to split.
Let's do it.
You know,
Let's do it. Yep.
someone that suffered a loss. You know what they're. You know,
Yes.
the hurt they're feeling.
Or if you're dealing with somebody who's emotionally insane.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know the way to put it. That'll pop in and go, okay, this person's off their game.
Right.
And Neptune's like, yeah, I can understand that. Because it likes that, you know, that emotional chaos kind of a thing.
Right. Right.
And it's like, okay, but we need to know what to do, so we're sending it to Saturn. And then, again, Saturn may overrule and go, get the hell out of here. Phew, you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, Michael Myers, no. We're not fighting, we're not,
Right.
no, we're gone.
Right. Right.
You know,
Well,
we're going to
that's-
run, and somehow he's going to catch up to us by walking. Never understood that about those movies. Never got it. He never runs. He just, and somehow he catches up to people that were just boom sprinting as fast as they could possibly go. I never got that.
Right.
But hey, you know, it's a movie.
Well, again, like you said, being able to distinguish, you know, spiritually also, you can tell when someone's under some kind of dark influence.
Right.
And again, whether or not you know, Saturn will determine whether or not you should stay and confront it or
Get out. Yeah.
not
Take
stay in that situation.
Right. Depending on how bad it is.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to move to the hand chakra. We don't have a nice long Indian name for this. Unfortunately. Okay, it's located at the navel. Endocrine gland is the heart. Not the heart chakra, the heart. We've talked about this before in the last one. Because the heart is a physical hub,
Right.
okay, which blasts hormones
Mm-hmm.
on its own.
Right.
Doesn't need the brain. It can just do it on its own. Makes much more sense with the hand chakra, because the hand chakra planetary association is Venus. Okay? And the Amashasmenta is Ardibahest. Okay? Element association is Earth, because of Taurus Okay, and the color association is amber.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Interesting name because it's female, so Venus is kind of interesting. But okay, the physical functions: physical intimacy, touch, skin, the breasts, and sexual activity. Okay, physical sexual activity. That's what we're talking about. We are not talking about emotional intimacy. We're talking about physical intimacy
Right.
at this point. And we're also talking about love, but we're talking about love like a mother's love to her children. Doesn't have to be just intimate love. It's physical love. It's grounding, it's foundation, it's strength of relationships. That's what Venus is great for.
Okay.
That's what makes Venus strong, her love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it different than the heart chakra.
Right.
Because the heart chakra is emotional sensitivity and emotional intimacy. Where the hand chakra is safety and security, that love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm safe here. I want my mom, I want my dad.
Again, like you said, with the
And
mother.
then all they have to do is
yeah.
come up and the kid's great, fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's that love that Venus is over. Okay, and the physical relationship between a man and a woman also. And it's because of that, because it's over all the senses.
Mm-hmm.
And that is physical intimacy.
Right.
All of your senses are kicking,
Mm-hmm.
cracking at that point, and everything's going. Okay, but that's what she is.
Okay.
Psychological functions: intellectual intimacy, okay, lust, desire, contentment, comfort. Okay. And when we say intellectual intimacy, we're talking about two people being able to relate and interact with each other
Right.
on an intimate level. That's the Libra aspect of Venus. Okay. We just talked about the Taurus aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking about Libra, because Libra's air. Okay, but Libra's interaction, and it's being able to relate to another person
Oh yeah.
in
Oh yeah, for sure.
an intimate way. So those are your nice long talks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
Those are your that's communication.
balance and harmony.
Yes,
Yeah.
you want balance
Yeah.
and harmony in your family and in with your partner. That's Libra coming in and doing that.
Mm.
The problem is that a lot of times Libra forgets about itself,
Right.
and it will do everything it can to break its back to make the other person feel that way and leave themselves out.
Mm.
So that's a focus that needs to be put on. You know, it's me too. It's not just, and I don't mean the Me Too movement. It's me too.
Right.
You have to include me too in myself.
Right.
I can't just be about the other person. It also has to be about me. And that's where Libra comes in and goes, yeah, this is a partnership.
Right. Striking that balance.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is a partnership. And it has to make sense.
Right. Yeah.
And it has to be strong and unbreakable.
Mm-hmm.
It has to have stamina. We want it to grow. And it's that part of love. Okay, spiritual functions. Spiritual intimacy, worship, fellowship, enlightenment, joy, and grace. And we keep putting intimacy in here because it is intimacy. It just isn't emotional intimacy. That's the one part it's really not.
Right.
It's all the others, okay? So, when we say like worship, we're talking about worship.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about going into church, feeling the love to your faith, feeling the love through your faith to your God, angels, whatever. It's your grace.
Yeah.
It's being able to connect to your grace.
Right.
Is what this is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Venus does. It also controls everything you love. Oh my God, I love ice cream. That's Venus. Okay?
Okay.
I love doing
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
That's Venus.
Yeah.
She's comfort. Again, she's like going home
Yeah.
to your mom. Not the house.
Yeah. It's not the
It's
physical
the parental
location.
figures.
Yeah.
It's the people that you feel strong, you feel secure around.
Mm-hmm.
It's that type of love is what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay? It's the love you feel when you are in fellowship with people.
Absolutely.
with whatever faith you may be. Or, if you're not a part of a religion, being around same-minded people. You get in those
Right.
groups, like we just
Yeah.
got back from Chesterfield.
Exactly.
What a
Yes.
wonderful feeling that was.
Oh, dude, the fellowship there was
Yes, and that's Venus.
amazingly
Right.
fantastic.
That was flowing through Venus. That's where that came from. She's the one that does that. She's Grace. Her aura association. She gives variant energy structure and picks up on intimate truths and personality. Okay. So she gives structure to what's going on. That's the part she plays. Just like the physical, the physical hub. All of this stuff comes in. You need to know what's happening. She gives it structure.
Okay.
This is what
Okay.
this is what it is. This is what it means. What broke the field? Well, this is what I picked up, emotionally. Here's what Neptune picked up. Okay. The foot picked up a variance, and Venus goes, well, this is what it is. It's a person. It's an animal. Okay. What type? What kind of a structure do we have here? That's what she does. That's what
Okay.
she brings into it.
Okay.
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 All right, now we're going to go to Manipura chakra. Anybody know what that is? Probably not.
Right.
Solar plexus.
Solar plexus. Solar plexus.
Yes. And the location is the solar plexus. Can you believe it?
Oh man, one that actually lines up.
Yes. Endocrine gland is the pancreas. Okay, the planet association is the sun.
Yeah.
Okay. The angel association is Kshatra Virya. Okay, elemental association is fire. The color is yellow. I know a lot of people have asked me how come it's not white. All things kind of spring from white, right? White light. White's not a color. That's why. White's an idea. So is black.
Right.
They're not colors. They never were. Yellow's a color. That's essentially why. Okay. Yellow is bright. It's the brightest color that we have.
Oh yeah.
It is. It's blinding. It's
Okay,
associated
well,
again
can
with
be,
heat.
yeah.
It's warm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the warmest of all the colors.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's a part of that primal triad.
Right.
And it's just Leo. That's it. All you've got there is Leo. Creative expression. That's all it is. Okay, but it's your essence.
Yeah, that's who you are.
Yep. It's your essence and it's what you radiate out.
Mm-hmm.
Physical functions are the digestive system, skin, diaphragm, small intestines, solar and or gastric plexus, sight in the eyes. That's what it controls. Okay? On the
Okay.
physical meaning. The psychological functions, personal power, mental activity, self-esteem, willpower. Okay? Willpower, not your will.
Okay, so not your Mars.
Right. Your will is your Mars.
Mm-hmm.
It gets its power
From the sun.
from the sun. Okay? Everything gets its power from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Because essentially every planet is a reflection of the sun's energy.
Well,
that's how it works.
that's exactly it. Is the sun,
Yes.
scientifically speaking, is what enables life to exist here.
Yes. Yes, it creates heat. It creates light. It allows things to grow. That's what your sun does.
Right.
If you block your sun's energy, you have no growth.
Right.
There is no growth. You can't grow without it. Okay. Spiritual functions. Okay. Intuitive powers regarding knowledge and mental activity and the control of the physiology of the body. So, we just said intuition was air, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking, wait a minute, what's this? Okay, what we're talking about in regards to intuitive powers regarding knowledge and mental activity, it's shaping that into creation and expressing it.
Right. Right.
So your intuition comes in, okay, we intuitively processed it. So Aquarius is kind of sitting there, okay, now what? Because air doesn't express anything.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
It organized it, sorted it out, said, hey, okay, here we go, we're going to disperse it. And
Well,
the sun
again-
goes, hey,
Again, it's
let's express this sucker.
personal expression. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Leo.
Well, it's not personal expression,
No.
it's creative expression.
Creative expression.
Yes. What are we going to build with this? What are we going to do with it?
Mm.
Okay. Where Aries, which is personal expression, is What is this to me? What am I? Okay, who am I?
Right.
Okay. I am. Okay. And Leo's like, who cares? What are we doing?
What am I creating with this?
Right.
Yes.
What am I need to create something, man. Movement, motion, art, whatever. Let's do it. We got this stuff. Let's go.
Right.
And that's what it's going to do. So that's the intuitive powers regarding that. Okay. I need to take this energy and put it here.
Right.
And that's where it goes. And then it builds it from there. Okay. Spiritual function. Or we just said that.
Yeah.
Okay. Or association. This picks up the true essence of what broke the field. The true essence. Not how it's being presented. Okay. Like the snake oil salesman walks up to you. Hey man, how you doing? What's going on? Leo's the one that goes, get away from me. I know what you are. I don't want I don't want it. Okay? You are a snake oil salesman. I don't like you. Go away.
Right.
Because it picks up the true essence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And sees through the BS. And goes, no, you're I know what you are.
Well, again, I mean that's light. It pierces the darkness.
Yeah, it penetrates through all things and goes, no.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're not that. You're something else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's its function. That's what it does as far as the aura is concerned. Right?
Okay.
And now we're going to go on to Anahata. Anahata. You can pronounce that many different ways. Chakra. That's the heart chakra. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Where's this located? Not where the heart is.
The heart. Yeah.
Endocrine gland is the hypothalamus. Planet association is Pluto.
Yes.
Right?
Scorpio.
Transformation is Pluto. Why is the heart chakra Pluto?
Because you transform.
You transform through the heart. Anybody that has read The Grinch knows that you transform through the heart. What happens to him? His heart grows threefold.
Right.
And he is transformed. Okay? It happened to Scrooge. It happened to the Grinch. It happened to all the little baddies. It happened to Darth Vader.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about that part of it, but that's what happened to him. Okay? That's what it was. That's why Pluto was associated with the heart. Because the heart is emotional. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
The heart chakra is all about emotion. It's emotional intimacy.
Right.
Okay? And again, the negative aspects of the heart chakra. If I can't have you, no one will. Right? Jealousy. All of those nasty things that are associated with the heart, that it does. Well, Pluto, Scorpio, Aries. Right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You have this emotional desire, I have to have this. If I can't have it, nobody else can. That's Scorpio and Aries working together. If I can't have you, nobody can, so I'm going to kill you. What? That's not Venus. That has nothing to do with Venus whatsoever.
Right.
But it sure does have to do with Scorpio and Aries. They can go that way. It's also, on the other end, unbelievably loving and emotional. That emotional intimacy, you know, that desire that you need. I desire this, a true desire. That's Scorpio, man. That's what Scorpio needs. Okay? His heart wasn't in it. So there's no will, there's no drive.
Right.
There's the Aries aspect. How come this happened? His heart wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Oh. But it doesn't mean his heart wasn't in it. It means his heart chakra wasn't in it. It had nothing to do with needing more hormones or anything like that. Or anything physical.
Right.
It was emotional. Emotionally, you're separated. Oh well. But again, on the other end of that, you know, Scorpio energy is unbelievably powerful. It's that love that says, women and children first.
Right.
As the men sit back and go, we're the ones that are going to die. You know, Bill Burr talks about it as a joke with the Titanic.
Right.
You know, why does this happen? Okay, well that's why it happens, and it's masculine.
Yeah.
But that's the heart chakra, not the heart. That's the heart chakra booming
Mm-hmm.
and getting that kind of protection. You go, I fight. Okay? You're the strength, you're the protector, protect them. I'm going to go head on and fight this thing.
Right, yes.
And I'm either going to kill it or die trying
Mm-hmm.
while you escape. That's the heart chakra.
Right,
That's
right.
Pluto. You know, that's a Scorpio thing. That's what gets intimidating. That's what gets moving.
Right.
Okay? It's your drive, it's your will for your desires.
Mm.
But because it's Aries, it's desire and passion. Both.
Mm.
Okay? That's your heart chakra. You're passionate about something.
Right.
That's not that Venus. That's Pluto.
Mm.
Okay. Scorpio is water, so it's desire. Aries is fire, so it's passion. Passion is just what? How you express your desire.
Right, right.
And unfortunately, a lot of the times it's not good.
Mm.
It can go negative quickly. And that's can be a huge problem.
Right.
Very big problem.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in relationships. But on the other end of it, it's also that need.
Mm.
That's where that need comes from. I need you. I need you in my life. I need you. I need you. I need you. You're horrible for me. You're bad for me. Every time we get together, it's not good. But I need you for some weird reason. And that's Scorpio. It's like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Where does that even come from? You know? But that's what it is.
Mm.
Okay? And that's the big difference between them. Okay? The angel association is Ermeti, another
Okay.
Amish Spenta. Okay? Element association is water. Okay? Scorpio, foremost. And we get into Mars, it's Aries foremost. Okay? Color association is green. Envy. Right?
Big green-eyed master, yeah.
Yep. Big green-eyed monster is envy. And that's Scorpio. That's not Venus, that's Scorpio. He's envious and jealous.
Right, yeah.
Okay? And secretive with his emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Physical functions. Monitors the heart, circulatory system, blood, lungs, shoulders, thymus, and related body parts. Cardiac plexus is associated with touch and the skin. Okay? Psychological functions, love, relationships, ability to relate and bond with others, and the divine. Now, when we talk about this kind of love, this is emotional love.
Right.
Okay? This is the emotional part. This is where it can get weird. Okay? This is the part that can get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of love we're talking about. We're not talking about the love for a mother and a child. We're talking about the love of a father and his family, yes, but you don't get near them.
Right.
Ever. you know, they can, and Scorpio's very intimidating, and fathers can be very intimidating.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, just wait till your father gets home.
When it's the connection with the divine too, with the water, the sensitivity.
Yeah, the connection with the divine. Yep. And that connection with the divine, it's a different type of. That's a spiritual, more of a spiritual love.
Mm.
But it's also a drive and a will.
Right.
Okay. We will go to church. We will do this. We will do that. Okay. Even when they bring it up in biblically, when they talk about man being the spiritual leader,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's why. It's that Aries aspect
Right.
of drive
Mm-hmm.
and ambition. Okay. But yeah, that's the whole point. Okay. And then spiritual functions: the ability to attain the highest forms of love and service toward others, acceptance of limitless knowledge and healing powers. Okay. So, what does that mean? Attain the highest forms of love and service toward others. Again, it's ambition. It's mowing your yard and mowing their yard and your neighbor's yard and the neighbor down the street and Doing that, shoveling your walk and not stopping at the end of your driveway and at the end of your sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one that's, hey, yeah. I'm trying to put this door up and I can't. Yeah, I'll be over in a second.
Right,
It's
right.
there it is.
Right.
Yeah, let me grab the tools.
Like, and
Right.
and the
I need
extreme
some
of
work
that,
on a car. I got this. I can do brakes. Right? That's what we're talking about.
the extreme end of that too. Again, like you were talking earlier, is the sacrifice aspect.
Yeah.
You know, women and children first.
Yes. It's women and children first, but it's also, I'm going to express this through doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Not through talking to you, not for being the guy that, oh yeah, I'll counsel you and blah, 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 blah. It's like, you need help? I can do that.
Right.
It's through, more expression.
Mm-hmm.
Pure expression on that. Okay? But at the same time, it's also, you can cry on my shoulder, but I'm not crying.
Right.
That's me. That's my secret thing. And that's again Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps it inside. Okay. But that's what we talk about when we're talking about service towards others. Okay. Okay. Acceptance of limitless knowledge and healing powers. When we talk about acceptance of limitless knowledge, oh, my husband thinks he knows everything. He's just a big know-it-all. Knows everything, knows all this, knows blah, 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 blah. Hey, you know anything about this? Well, here's what I think. Right? Goes on, and his wife's like, where'd you come up with that one? What do you mean? That's what we're talking about. Okay? As far as healing powers, it's not that the greatest healers in the world are men. But we're not just talking about males. We're talking about the heart chakra. Okay. Pluto. But Pluto's not masculine either, is it?
No.
Because it has more to do with Scorpio, which is feminine.
Right.
That's where your healing powers come in. Your Scorpio comes in with the healing powers. Limitless knowledge thing, that's a male characteristic. That's Aries. I know everything.
Right.
Are you kidding me? I know everything, and I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. Okay, and then you're done with it, and somebody looks at you and goes, you know what? I have a degree in this. You have no idea what you were just talking about. But you sort of look like it. If nobody knew any better, you would sound like you sure did. Right? So we've got that. Okay, so, or association. Reveals the true desire of what broke the field. Now we're talking about desire.
Yeah.
What is the desire of whatever the heck just broke the field? Is it to hurt me? Is it to like me? Is it to, what is this? What does this thing feel?
So we just had the true essence, what it really is.
Yep.
And now it's, what does it want?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Now we're going to the Doth chakra. And again, Doth, what is Doth? Doth is the 11th supposed Sephiroth that some Kabbalists found. And I don't think that they found another Sephiroth that doesn't work with the math in the Kabbalistic system. So what is it? It's a chakra. So why would they pick it up? Because it's a chakra that connects everything together. It connects the chakras. It connects them to the planets. It connects them to the Sephiroth. It connects them to the angelic orders. It connects them to the 10 heavens in the Judeo-Christian system. That's what Doth does. So it's in all of them. So of course you're going to pick it up.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's the connection.
Just the connecting thread.
And why would it be that? Mark, drive.
There you go. Yeah.
It is your drive. Okay. All right. So Doth, top of the sternum, endocrine gland, is the thymus. Planet association is Mars. Angel association, Sreosha, for the Amishasmenta. Elemental association is fire. Color association is purple. Okay. Physical functions, aggression, exercise, violence. Entrepreneurial, outgoing, physical energy, stamina, power, animation. All Mars energy right there. All Aries, right there you go. Okay.
All Mars.
Physical functions, aggression. Oops, we already did that. Psychological functions, drive, ambition, enthusiasm, impulsive, passion, arrogant, original, extroverted, spontaneous, excitable, and confident. Okay. War, aggression, assertiveness, that's what it wants. Okay? Spiritual functions, protection, spiritual drive, banishing, bold, faithful, inspiring, spontaneous. That's where Scorpio comes in. Inspirational, inspiring. Okay. Who do you look up to? My dad.
Mm.
Who's your hero? My dad. Because we project, as a lot of males project that out,
Right.
as being a father. Who do you not want to piss off? My dad.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. The aura association picks up the ambitious intention of what broke the field. What are its ambitions? That's what Mars wants to know. That's what Doth wants to know. What are you doing? You broke the field. Why? Are you running? Are you just bypassing this? Is your ambition to come at me? And if so, why?
Right.
Okay. Again, what are you doing?
Mm.
Okay. What do I need to do? Okay. Next one we have is Vishuddha. Okay, the throat chakra. Second hub. Okay. Second hub. Location is the throat. Endocrine gland is the thyroid. Its planet association is Mercury. Okay. Angel association is Harvatat. Elemental association is Aether. And the color association is blue.
Aether. Okay.
Aether.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to get the quintessence in here.
Yep. Yes. The quintessence.
Mm.
Gemini, but Virgo also. Okay. It's just the elemental association is Aether. Okay. It disseminates everything that gets brought in.
Oh, I get. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That
It
flows
takes
through.
it, what was organized, and it processes it, and then disseminates
Right.
it to everything.
Mm.
Okay. So it transfuses all of that information to all of the chakras
Right.
to determine how you're going to react. That's why it's Aether. Because that's what Aether does. It transfuses.
Transfuses everything. Yeah.
Yep. Color association is blue. Okay. Physical functions. It manages neck, ears, jaws, teeth, trachea, vocal cords, other organ glands in the neck area, laryngeal and carotid plexus linked to hearing and the ears, sound. Okay. But it's all about communication
All about communication. Yeah.
and dissemination. That's what it's doing.
Well, I mean, that's what
Communicates all those
that's what communication is the dissemination of information.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Psychological functions, communication and expression, issues of faith, decision making, sharing of one's own truth. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Spiritual functions, decisions to face karma now, learning how to free the self from the world, intuitive gifts regarding speaking and hearing, knowledge about past, present, and future. This is the throat chakra. This is what the Suda does.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. It's communication in all forms. Knowledge of the past, being given that information, processing that information. Again, it's processing. We're talking about Gemini. We're talking about Virgo. Analysis, research, and then Gemini, communication, chatting. Okay. Inspiration itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what we're talking about.
Would that possibly be in the Judeo-Christian tradition associated with the vocal spiritual gifts then?
Yes.
Prophecy, words of knowledge,
Yes.
words of wisdom.
Any type of words. Language itself. Any
Okay.
way that you can communicate is the throat chakra. That's
Interesting.
what it does.
That's absolutely fascinating because that just, yeah.
In any regard, yep. Your association. This processes and circulates all the information and energy to where it needs to go. This essentially means the throat chakra sends out the order in which, in computer terms, code is executed. This is what has to be done. Sends it out so that those chakras can actually do it.
Right.
Okay. Now we have Anya, the brow chakra. Location is the forehead. Endocrine gland, the pineal. Planet association is the moon. Angel association is Emeretat. Elemental association is water, of course. Color association is indigo.
Yes.
Dark blue,
Yes.
almost black.
That indigo beam in our moon ceremonies.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And in that third eye. Yeah.
Okay, physical functions. Manages the brain, eyes, neurological system, sinuses, and other body parts in the forehead area and the medulla plexus. Okay, psychological functions. Self-perception and self-awareness. Vision and perception related to the mind and our higher perceptions of reality, ability to break old patterns. It's also very nurturing, the energy that comes through the brow.
Oh, it is, but it's ruled by the moon.
And your third
That's,
eye.
You know, the Shekinah.
Yeah.
The Divine Mother.
Yep. Yeah, when you bring the stuff out, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Spiritual functions, transformation of individual consciousness to transcendence. Intuitive gifts, including psychic, sight, higher vision, and higher mind functions. However, this is personal sensitivity. This is empathy. This is bringing it in.
Again, that's why people mistake, you know, that you get the misconceptions between psychic and
Yes.
intuition.
Yes.
Because this is where you
Your brow chakra is the first thing that sparks off your intuition. Okay. Neptune in the sacral completed and goes spiritual essentially with it. Okay, and keep sucking it in. But your brow chakra is the first thing that clicks. It initiates it.
Well, that's
It
why
initiates the empathy. Hello, 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 hello.
is that why everyone talks about wanting to open the third eye? Or
Yeah,
the need,
because without it,
the need to
there's
open
no
the third
initiator.
eye.
Yeah. You can't initiate it without it. It's cardinal water. You can't. Cardinal energy initiates. It's personal. Okay. To you, this is personal empathy, bringing it in, personal sensitivity. Okay, this is the first way to absorb anything. And the moon is how we feel.
Right.
It's how we feel. Not so much what we're feeling, it's how we feel anything. And that's what Cancer does. She brings it in.
Right.
She starts the process of empathy. Scorpio grows it, right? And then you've got Pisces that says, this is how we complete it. And we transform it. That's why Pisces is the one that gets sick.
Right, yeah.
It takes everything on. It goes mutable and adapts to the energy. But unfortunately, it adapts too well to the energy. It takes it on in. Brow doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Brow just pulls it in. Okay? That's the big difference. Okay. Or association. This feels the mood and emotions of whatever broke the field. And we're talking about the field itself.
Right.
This is what broke it. Is it pissed? Is it happy? Is it friendly? Is it not? It feels it. That's what it's feeling.
Right.
Okay. Why are you so mad?
Right.
Okay. You're depressed.
So,
yeah, great.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, exactly. Well, going back a little bit, what do you mean by higher perceptions of reality?
Oh, as far as the moon?
Yeah.
That's where your third eye kicks. Higher perceptions of reality. Like when you talked about doing the moon ceremony. Okay. That indigo beam that hits, and we pull it in. Okay. We can perceive the energy through the brow chakra better than we can through any of the others. That's why we do moon ceremonies. Moon ceremonies funnel the sun's energy.
Right.
Every 2 weeks. Okay. It brings energy in, releases it during a full moon, and the negative aspects of the opposing sign, and then again brings in the positive energies of the opposing sign right after it's done, letting you release it to it. Okay, which is why Samafan and Shekinah are the ones that we use. Okay, we release the Samafan, we bring in through the Shekinah. Okay, that's why we do it. And when we talk about higher perception, that's what we're doing. We're perceiving it. This is what perceives everything. It's the pineal gland.
Okay.
The pineal gland goes, all right.
Okay.
I just spiritual.
Right. I just wanted to
Your
clarify.
The higher chakras are very spiritual.
Right.
These are more physical. Okay. They're spiritual. And again, the pineal gland.
Right.
It's the divine mother. It's as pure as you get,
Mm-hmm.
and as potent as you get at that particular level, and it flows through. Okay, and it's only feminine.
Right.
Okay, that's it. You're getting potential. Okay? She's just potential. What she's bringing into you, and then it flows into everything else. But that is why we do that. That's why it comes in there. She's not a hub by any means. Okay? But she understands everything that's coming into her. Okay?
Right.
She
Right.
visualizes it.
Okay.
She can see it. She can put it in a way that you understand it.
Right. I just wanted to clarify because some people can go kind of off the deep end, I guess you could say, with the higher dimensions and raising your vibration.
No, it's
ideas.
not that. This is perception. This is just perception. This is, again, she's just feeling it. This is how you feel. How you feel it in. How you feel it. How you get the energy in. How you're feeling it. Okay. And then, again, it's pure feminine. It's the only one.
Right.
It's pure feminine. Like the solar plexus is the only one that's
Pure
masculine.
masculine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pure projection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's receptive.
Okay.
And she's reflective.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that reflective nature that allows her to perceive so well. Because you see the reflection. You see the reflection of it. You're getting the energy and seeing it as your own, as a reflection. That's the reflective part of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that pure water, that cancer energy. Okay, that's why.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Now we are on to
Say House Rara. That's how I say it.
okay.
That's what makes the most sense to me.
I wasn't even going to.
Crown chakra.
I wasn't even going to try.
Yep, say House Rara. Okay, location is it's not the top of your head, it's over the top of your head.
Right.
Okay? That gland is the pituitary gland. Okay? That association is Jupiter. Okay? Angel association is Armazd. He is the chief,
The chief.
of the Amish Pentas.
Okay.
Element association is fire. Color association is violet blue. Okay. Jupiter, how we expand. Rules Sagittarius, Pisces, personally, has more to do with Sagittarius. Sagittarius is spiritual expression. So Jupiter is the aura. That's what expands the aura.
I was going to say that's what expands the field out.
Yeah, but
outside
that's what the
ourselves,
field
yes.
is.
Yeah.
It's spiritual expression.
Right.
It's not physical expression. You'd feel. I mean, you could feel it with your hand like that. It's spiritual expression.
Right.
It is sad. Jupiter rules it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's conceptual. So when Jupiter gets involved, it's like a 3D. It's a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see everything going, all the colors mixing. That's Jupiter, man. That's what sees that. It is the field itself. It's crazy, but it is. Okay. Physical function manages the skull, cranium, central nervous system, cranial plexus, also considered beyond the physical senses and body. Okay. It is very spiritual, but again, it's added to spiritual expression.
Right.
Okay. And Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual sensitivity.
Right.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about, is masculine. Okay, psychological functions, emotional and mental relationships with higher virtues, including hope and truth, assist with releasing misperceptions, learning issues, psychosis, and other challenges. It's expression. It's expressing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's what's releasing it. So it gets Sagittarius essentially takes the Pisces energy and goes, okay, get rid of that. Stop it. You're not sick.
Right. Right, yes, absolutely.
You're not sick, they are. Well, stop this.
Right.
Goodness. Okay? And then Jupiter, is expanding it. And it likes truth. It's the truth seeker. It wants to find the truth. All truths. Anything truth. your truths.
That's
That's
interesting.
Jupiter.
So Jupiter's the truth seeker. Your
Mm-hmm.
great teacher is Saturn.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Spiritual functions: acceptance of our divinity and defeat of egotism. It is wisdom. Okay. Sag is there's a lot of humility with Sag.
Mm.
Okay. It can blow everything up because it wants to expand everything because of Jupiter. Expansion, expansion, expansion.
Right.
But at the same time, it doesn't care.
It's not doing it for its own.
Yeah, it's not like
Well,
I don't need to take credit for the expansion. I just need to expand this.
Right.
You know, I'm a
Instead,
Sagittarius.
it's not-
I sell all the time. I just facilitate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, I work with you. It's all you.
Oh yeah.
I'm there to help facilitate. Okay, but everything that you do is you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not me. There's a lot of Leos that would take the credit for it.
But again,
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes. Look what I did.
Well,
I
that
did
that,
this,
play,
I
that
did
plays
that.
very well with my role too, as an up and coming facilitator. Also, as my
Right.
moon is in Sagittarius.
Yes, yes. That's where your humility is going to come through in Sag.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is. It's not coming through Leo.
Right.
Leo's going to take the credit. Sagittarius is going, I don't care. You know, seriously?
Right.
What do I care? But it also doesn't care about other people's egos. So, interestingly enough, I have met some people who were famous, and I was able to just talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody I met walking down the street, where other people were.
Well, that's, I mean,
and
that's
you just
it's
like, why?
like
He's
your
a
sensei,
person.
yeah.
Well, yeah, like Sensei, yeah.
Yeah.
I treat him like a normal person. How are your kids? How are things going? I care.
Right, right.
About that, where other people put him on this pedestal and treat him like he's some, like almost like a god.
Right.
It's like,
Or an ascended master, yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure. Yeah.
who cares? He's also a human being. I mean, come on, talk to the man.
Right, right.
You know, you need to talk to people. And I have no issues doing that. Never really have. Just weird, I guess.
Mm.
Other people think it's weird. It's just me. You know. Okay. So, aura associations gives a full view of the entirety of the auric field. Okay, that conceptuality
Mm-hmm. It expands it
of
out.
of what's going on, and looking at it from a different point of view.
Right.
Okay, seeing it almost like a 3D picture,
Mm.
where other people see it linear. Okay. Now we're going to talk about chakra totems. Okay, chakra totems, and we're going to talk about the fire totems because we're working fire. Fire totems are animals. Okay, they teach us how our chakras express themselves through their behavior.
Right.
Okay, it's all about behavior.
Behavior and expression.
Whatever animal is over whatever chakra is how that chakra is going to behave.
Mm.
That's the important aspect of animal totems. And they're not just over chakras. You have a personal totem and a dream totem.
Mm.
The dream totems, they essentially, they show you how your dreams, I don't want to say dreams behave, but how you are in your dream. So I guess you can say, yes, how they behave, how they're expressed, the behavior of their expression. So I know people that I know a person who's got a lion.
Mm.
They're always the center of their dreams. Their dreams are always, they are the center being in the dream.
Okay.
I am not.
Okay.
I have a black jaguar, black panther. Is mine. I'm usually observing from kind of like from afar,
Mm.
kind of looking down.
Right. From an elevated position.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what they do.
Yep.
The trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of, and that's how I do mine. A lot of my dreams are of the night. It's where I'm a lot of the time. I don't have a lot of dreams where it's, you know, bright and sunny and all that. A lot of my stuff happens at night in my dreams. It's kind of strange, but again, the activity
Right. Right.
of them, a lot of it's at night because that's where they're camouflaged.
That's just well, that's interesting.
A lot of my stuff is behind the scenes.
That's very interesting because my dream is, you know, the deer, the
Right.
white-tailed deer. And from what I do remember from my dreams, you know, the grace and the forgiveness and everything that
Mhm.
flows really does exhibit itself in my dreams.
Yeah, yeah. And again, you are gonna behave differently, or your dreams will, than mine.
Right, right.
And it's because of the totem.
Mm.
Now, animal totems, fire totems, are just one aspect of that.
Right.
But they cover behavior.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. We begin to study each of our animal totems' attributes. This allows us an in-depth exploration into our own unique behaviors within ourselves and the outside world. Okay. Animal totems control the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical expression of the individual chakras. Okay. Different chakras will behave personally, okay, through presentation, creatively through radiance, and spiritually through the aura, based on their particular animal totem. Okay. Analysis of these gives us insight to determine what type of expressions to choose for each. Okay. The aura is a product of one's spiritual expression. Again, Sag.
Mm-hmm.
Planetary energy flows through the chakra system, creating one field of varying frequencies. Each frequency is expressed through the color inherent to individual chakras. Okay, the auric field radiates from the chakras, making it fire. It then is divided into the remaining three: water, air, and earth. The initiating field is empathy, allowing the field to sense other fields' vibrations. Air, through resonance, amplifies these vibrations for interaction. Earth completes the cycle, allowing the vibrations to form substance, a presence, which then one can identify with discipline and practice. We process these vibrations through sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. The most popular method for identifying the aura is through sight. However, anyone that walked into an environment full of tension or stress has identified the vibrations through empathy. The senses merely clarify the process. The aura colors transcend dimensions. Refracting light creates color into three-dimensional reality. Reflection creates color into two-dimensional reality. This changes the frequency and causes the same color to appear as its opposite. The astral plane is two-dimensional. While exploring there, red will appear green, blue will appear orange, yellow appears violet. I have not encountered any oppositional colors within the dream state, only the astral plane. Okay, and that's just me. But that's how essentially the aura works.
Mm.
And why it's so darn important.
Right, yeah,
you
absolutely.
need it.
Yeah.
You need to be able to function with it.
Also, it's a form of your own spiritual expression. So.
Well, yeah. It is, but
as
you
long
can't
as you're
heal with it.
As long
you
as
can't manifest, or you can't heal without it. You can't manifest without it.
Right.
You can't function without it,
mm-hmm.
and survive. You can't. Your auric field protects you.
Right.
From anything that breaks it.
Not only does it protect you, but again, it's your spiritual part of your spiritual expression.
Yes.
As long as you're alive, you have it.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you're alive, you have your auric field. But again, your spirit has an auric field.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you can feel and sense ghosts. Some people.
Right. Yeah.
And spirits. And that's after death. Your spirit still carries your auric field, because Sagittarius isn't physical; it's spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
And so is your aura. So your aura doesn't really die.
Right.
It stays with you. It interacts with other things. But again, that's why people can feel ghosts.
That leads to an interesting question. The fallen.
Yeah.
We've talked about the demonic, the fallen angels.
Yes.
Would they have an aura representation also?
Yes. You feel demonic energy, don't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously you can feel the energy. I just.
Yeah, they have an aura.
Would they have an aura similar to
They didn't fall
ours?
from fire. They fell from grace.
Right.
Not fire. They still have all elements.
Mm.
They're still a part of all the elements.
Okay.
They just fell from grace. I mean, people are like, they fell down. They didn't fall down. They fell from grace. They were cut off from grace.
Mm.
Interacting with us, which is interesting because when they fell from grace, we became the way that they can reconnect to grace.
Okay.
So we became important after they fell. Because a lot of them fell because they didn't like us in the first place and wanted nothing to do with us.
Right.
And after they fell, they needed us. Even now they need us. We're a necessity. Because we have the free will to give our grace up.
Right.
And that's what they want when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it through fear, they do it through all sorts of things. They feed on it like a drug. Sort of like, they're parasites.
Right, right.
They're parasites. That's their drug, we're like the pipe, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're more than the pipe. We are the essence of the drug.
Right.
That they need. They feed off it and replace it with raw, horrible, nasty stuff
Mm-hmm.
that they are,
Mm-hmm.
and then feed off that good, unbelievably cool grace
Right,
that
right.
they were cut off from for so long.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of it. And then they connect out and feed off the grace of people that are
Around
close to
us,
us
yeah.
and connected to us energetically. And they control us
Right, yeah.
that way
Mm-hmm.
through the nasty stuff that they give us.
Right.
Doing it. And they replace it with escapism, a lot of escapism. The dark side of Neptune, they use that. Addiction, dark
Right,
side of
yeah,
Jupiter.
yeah.
They use the dark side of all the planets, everything, all the signs, all the everything that you can possibly imagine, they utilize. And they pick us apart.
Mm-hmm.
And they lie to us. Oh
Right,
yeah, look, how good this feels, but it's not real. You don't understand that, but it's not real. When you're going through it, it's not real. When you get the high, it is. You feel it, and then it goes away. And you're like, well, that sucked.
And then you're left worse off, yeah.
Yeah, what was that? It's gone. Utilizing grace to do things like that, it doesn't go away. If you accomplish something, if you complete something, you're successful at something, righteously,
Mm-hmm.
the grace doesn't stop. The connection's still there.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
So it's not been cut off. When they get involved, they deplete yours. Then you're not feeling it like you did. And then they say, well, yeah, but you can. You need money. If you stay with me, I can get you money. Because money can buy you all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay. You're like, wow, yeah, I can get a good car, I can get a nice house, I can travel, I can go places, I can do all these things, and you go, eh. And then you look at the people that do it, those are the ones that usually get into drugs.
Right.
So
Yeah.
where's the pay? There's no payoff.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is give up your grace. But your grace is what makes you feel good anyway. What do you want? I want money, I want power, then you get it, and that's not what you wanted.
Right.
So what did you want? I wanted a family. I wanted,
Safety,
build something.
security, yeah.
I wanted love. I wanted grace.
Mm-hmm.
Well, money doesn't give you that.
Right.
Power doesn't give you that.
Yeah.
All the stuff that you said that you wanted doesn't give you that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you want? You have to sit there and go, wow. Again, unintended consequences.
Right, yeah.
But this is what they told. Who told you that? Well, everybody. Your parents tell you that? Oh, no. Who told you that? Right? You did, didn't you? And non-reality. The computer you look at, the phone you're on, the TV you watch. That's who told you that.
Mm-hmm.
Other people
Right.
who aren't happy told you that because that's what they want. That's what they think is going to make them happy, but it doesn't. And it doesn't. But misery also loves company.
Right.
So there it is. What'd you have to give up? A lot. To get where you're at. Are you really happy? Most of them
No.
don't seem to be. I mean,
Right, yeah.
the recording industry is imbued with drugs and alcohol and all sorts of stuff. So is the movie industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's fake. They play pretend.
Right.
I mean, that's essentially what they do. They play pretend.
Right.
Or they're people that order other people around that play pretend.
Mm.
You know, that's the movie industry.
Mm.
Okay? A lot of them are unbelievably insecure, which is why they're so good at playing pretend.
Right.
Because they don't know who they are. And it's a lot easier to be somebody else if you don't know who you are.
Right. Well, it's
can just
the entire craft
do it.
is an escape. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is escapism. Especially method actors. It's all escapism. And the payoff's not really there.
Right.
It's not love. People don't love them. People love who they think they are.
Right.
Who they portrayed in a
characters, yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
The fact that they are rich, that they have these things. They love what you have. They don't love who you are. They just love what you have and what you can do. The fact that you can play pretend. If they didn't make any money, most people wouldn't care about them.
Right.
You'll say, wow, that was a great performance, but awesome. And then walk away and not care. That's really all it is. Acting. Recording is a little different because you're messing with different types of vibration.
Right. Right.
Because you're doing sound vibrations at that point and different frequencies, and you're actually affecting things. And you are too with your performance on stuff. But again, it's still an escape.
Right.
Because it's not real.
Again,
And I don't mean music's not real. It's real, but
sound has a whole different kind of effect.
Right.
It really
well, it
does.
is.
I mean,
and
it's
then there's,
semantics.
you know, what is the right? But then there's what is the song telling you?
Right.
Because you can get the same thing out of that if you listen to some music. It tells you money, power.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Violence. No. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I knew many people that were in the recording industry, and most of them, well, I'm not going to say most of them. Some of them weren't happy. Some of them were. But the ones that did it and stayed in the party mode and did this and did that and did that and didn't, you know.
That's
the people around them didn't care about them.
Right.
The people that hung out around them, the groupie types, were strange.
Mm-hmm.
They liked him for one reason, and that was it. But it wasn't like they really liked them.
Right.
They liked them because they were, you know, famous type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not them. There's no love. There's no grace. It's fake.
Yeah. It's all fake. Yeah.
Again, it's an escape.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people go around, you know, I love this person, I love that person. Like, you don't even know that person. You never met that person. You have no idea what that person's actually like.
Right.
But you're running around going, you love this person.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be one of the worst people you've ever met in your entire life. And you wouldn't even know it.
Right.
Yeah. And then people around you going, yes, 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 yes about things all the time. Anyway, we got gotten off the whole point of this. But, okay, that was the end of fire. There will be more exercises coming out in different videos.
Yeah, a couple different videos.
We have the exercises for the second one, and then we'll have exercises for this one.
Right.
Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you again.